Have a good night tonight. There's nothing left to say after that. First of all, both of us apologize. Don't know how we screwed up our schedule. We were actually on time all day today. When we landed, we were 30 minutes late, so I don't know how that happened, but my apologies. Thank you for waiting. It's kind of deja vu all over again. Talking about the top 5 places in the world to play. We were lucky enough last week to be in one of those top 5 places in Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Target Center in St. Paul, Minneapolis is one of those top 5 places to play. We were 30 minutes late for that press conference as well. So I'm only hoping that these shows go as well as Lexington then. If everything just follows suit, we'll be very, very happy. Not really great at talking at you. I would love to talk with you. So if you have any questions for Ms. Yearwood or Mr. Yearwood, then you please make yourself all respectful.
Okay. Why do you suppose the Twin Cities is such a sweet spot in the United States for setting the records that you have here and across the United States?
I don't know. Gentleman that runs the building came down to Chicago opening weekend. I looked at him and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, because he was a fish out of water. He says, "We came here to get the record back." Maybe you guys are competitive. I don't know. But I like it. And you guys were very sweet. And I got to tell you, we do everything through Ticketmaster, but I'm never going to remember the 3 letters of the ticketing system here. But these guys they were sharp. I want to say it's AMX, but it's not AMX. But just what is it?
AXS.
AXS. Thank you very much. They were very cool. Walked us through the whole process. Said it's going to be slower than Ticketmaster, but I bet you 10 to 1 would hit more human beings than the percentage than what Ticketmaster does. And they were dead on it. They took care of everybody, and I thought it was very, very sweet. So much that we added another show one more time because they told us that you got people out there looking for tickets, and you can either have them go through the scalpers or go through a good system. We always want them to go through a good system. So I wish I could explain it. I don't know how many people get out of here, outside looking in. Cleanest city on the planet, and just love being here. The crowds are the best. Of course, I'm a little biased. This was the first stop for those people. And I know you said you were here last time we played at In Central Park, but for those people that were older than 4 years old when they were here last time, this was the first place that my mom came back after her surgery. And this was tough. This was a great and a hard day for our family. She was fantastic, but this place just means the world to me because they treated my mom and dad so. It was good, really, really good. So I have great memories of this place.
The very first time I was on a bus west of the Mississippi was to come to Minneapolis to meet with Target, actually. And so it was the first time I had really been out of Georgia and Tennessee, my 2 states I'd lived in. And that was my first thought when we rolled into the city, how beautiful it was and how clean it was. And I know that everybody says it's clean, but I mean, this is a big city. Lots of tall buildings, lots of concrete, and it is spotless. And the people treated us incredibly well too. So I share the same sentiment and same experience. I'm also a huge Prince fan, so I went to First Avenue.
Garth, I was here 16 years ago with my son. We had an awesome time, great concert. Are we going to have as good a concert this time around?
You know, I can just tell you what I've seen so far, and just being honest. And if any of the fans want to sit here, I'll sit and face to them. You know, you're never going to get a short answer from me, and I'm sorry, but there are reasons for everything. In the 96-98 World Tour, we saw close to 90 cities, but Chicago didn't go 10 nights. St. Paul, Minneapolis didn't go 11 nights. Atlanta didn't go 7. Jacksonville didn't go 6. So with this happening, we're not going to be able to see probably 40% of the cities we saw in the 96-98 World Tour. So because of that, we sat down and we hand-picked cities. And I got to tell you, I thought Chicago would be good because I remembered it. They were better than I remember. Atlanta was better than I remember. And Atlanta started the World Tour, if you remember, in '96. It was a big thing for them. Jacksonville blew itself away for 6 shows. And it was a small arena. It wasn't a big arena, you know, so it was a lot smaller arena, and they were louder than they've ever been. And we rolled into Lexington, Kentucky, where all the pressure was on, because we got half the live album out of Lexington, Kentucky in 96, 98 World Tour. And they were phenomenal. We did a 2-show night system with them. We couldn't get the first show to leave. They just wouldn't leave. And what I mean by they, none of them. I'm looking at Ben, the promoter. He's out there doing this right here. Because usually you see people starting to trail out the end. They were stuck there, man. They were there. They were there to have a great time. Fire marshal was getting all upset because they wouldn't leave. And it was like, hey. So it's been better. And now, when you talk about pressure kind of goes on you, because I remember you guys very well. And these crowds have some living up to do, man. So it's cool. We're going to put the pressure back on them, and I can tell you this, the show is a better show than it was in 96, 98. And the crowds have reflected that for sure.
So the short answer is yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brooks, you were called on last night to present the Entertainer of the Year award. How did it feel being back up on that stage, and how has country music changed and evolved since you pulled off the road in 01?
The weird thing when you present, you probably saw this too last night, when you present, they come up and you give them the award, and then this is all you see. And they have no monitors, so this is all you hear. And then, when they're talking about you, this is what it's like. You hear the crowd laugh. You're just sitting there going,
And then Luke Ryan's giving you a hug.
yeah,
So.
I had no idea, so I didn't get to see it. I got to pull it up on TV to hear what he said, but it was cool. It was cool to see the youth there. I came there to see George Strait. Sorry, that's asked him the hall going, you know. And Miss Loretta was in this year. Was the room? They were all there together. Miss Martina was in there too. So it's good to see old school, young school. Meshed up together. Yeah, please.
So I was backstage before I went to present Male Vocalist, and I was standing with Luke Bryan, and he is a really nice guy. It's the first time I had met him. He was telling me that he's a huge Garth fan, and he was, you know, kind of freaking out that he was there. And he said, I've never met him. And so I'm looking around. He goes, no, don't look for him. Don't look for him. He was coming up later. He was back in the dressing room. And he said, I've been around him 4 times, and every time I was around him, I'm like, this is the time, this is the time, this is the time. Nope. And he never had met him, so he was really nervous and a huge fan. And I said, well, you better win that Entertainer of the Year thing, or you're not going to get a chance to meet him. And he did. And so his second hug and the way he talked about Garth was very sincere. And so what I took from last night was just a respect. You know, everything has changed a lot, and there's a lot of new stuff going on. But it's a real cool kind of thing when the old school guys come in. Everybody kind of turns and goes, oh, look, there's so and so. So I got that last night. It was cool. It was cool to see. It was cool to see him just giddy about getting to meet you.
Considering the intensity of the Garth Brooks show, and now that you're over the age of 35,
Thank you.
how do you vocally and physically stay up for 11 shows?
Vocally, it's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, it won't. So I'm going to need a lot of help. I'm going to be screaming for help from day one, so these people will know what their job is. Physically, I don't know, man. I'm about 50 pounds heavier than I was last time I was here, just simply because.
Somebody has to test the resume.
Yeah. it's a phenomenal life, man. I said this at the press conference at Rep Arena. There's 21 hours in the day that's hard about touring. There's 3 hours in the day that's eating ice cream for 3 hours, and that's why you're on stage. With this tour, the other 21 hours, you spend with your best friend. It's nice. So this is good. So physically, other than me just getting older, I'm older, over 35, which was very well played. Me just getting older, that's it. I've been it so far in Chicago and in Lexington. So if we keep the averages up, hopefully I won't bite it here, but we'll see. At some point in the whole show, the whole floor moves. That's where I've been it twice, just trying to get used to that. Stage is cool. Lighting rig is cool. The sound system is cool. And we're introducing video into our world since we didn't have it in the late 90s. So all these worlds are coming together to play. So we're still very much in the infant stage of this tour. And everything's going together. But there was one night in Jacksonville so far the tour. There's been 28 shows, maybe, something like that. There was one show in Jacksonville where it all popped. They even told me, "Ooh, everybody's working together. You can feel it goes one. The job is to get another one of those and another and another." Lexington was just frantic the whole time. Never settled down. But we're here for 11 shows, so I'm hoping we're going to get 3 or 4 of those pops here because everybody's settled down. You know you're here. You're not traveling. Get in there and get it done. Should be fun.
Well, Willie Nelson's in his 80s. He still performs. Could you picture yourself, both of you, when you're in your 80s, still taking the stage?
No.
You know, I think we were all children when we heard Elton John say, "I don't want to be some 40-year-old rocker up there on stage with him." So I don't think you never say never kind of thing. But you know, if you're asking me what I would like, let's just take this decade, for example. Had a friend in the business go, "Man, tell us the plan. What do you want to do? Is this a come in for one album and be gone kind of thing, or are you in for the run?" And it's simple. I want to make what we did look small. And I know people go, "Well, that's impossible." I'll tell you what, the tour's doing it right now. We looked at the tour numbers from 90s and thought, man, if we could get 50-60%, we'd be very happy. We're sitting at 120% right now. We've got our 1 millionth ticket already. It'll be probably Greensboro, I think, is where it's going to surface, but it's already been sold. We just got to find it. And 1 million ticket through 7 cities. That's crazy. It took us 15 cities to get there last time. So this is it's pretty cool. The next phase, of course, is music. The album drops 11/11 for us. Yours is 11/17. And then we'll see. You know. You know. And then there's the overall business, how they accept you if you do the award shows and stuff. Last night was the first time to even come back and step on that stage since I got to sing with George Jones on a song called Beer Run at the CMA. So we'll see. I would love to answer the other 2. Right now, the first one of the tour, thank God, is the answer is something you want to see. Forgive me if the answer to the other 2 is something I don't want to see. That's something I'll deal with. Yes, ma'am.
How do your girls feel about you being back, and have they come out to see you?
Yes, they have. And they've been wanting us to get out of the house for the last 10 years. Trust me. They have, "Hey, Dad, love you, but go." And but they were cool. They were great. We've talked about it. We made all these decisions together, and they're kind of on their own journey and their own paths.
You know how we have to say, you know, we were at every soccer game, every soccer practice, every school event. They say they were at every soccer game, every soccer practice. I'm like, it's not so cool for them, but maybe someday.
But
They'll be glad we were there.
Greatest gift I've ever been given in my life was from you guys and God for the 14 years to be able to afford and step away and watch the children. The second greatest gift I'd ever be given in this career would be the second half. And again, we're see what's going to happen. Yes,
Will you return to Saturday Night Live, and will you reprise your role as old Frank Moore?
People ask me that all the time. No, I will be not going to Saturday Night Live. Those guys work too hard for me. Also, it takes a whole week because you get in there Monday, you don't leave. They work. But I tell you what, if I get one request to do Will Ferrell's The Devil sketch with songwriting, I get it 1 billion times, man. I can't. First, we talked about this in Last City too. The weird thing you're going to see different, especially this tour, when you look around, it's a dude fest. I don't know what happened. I don't have a clue what happened. I don't know if, I don't know. All of a sudden, it's 50-50 guys. And Ticketmaster is telling us on their reports, it's 48% of people who were either 10 years old or younger buying the tickets when we were on tour last. So half the people there, you'll see a lot of them. We stopped the show in Atlanta because there was a little girl that had a Garth Brooks tour shirt on that was older than she was. And I said, "Oh, I know that shirt's older than you are." And she was my dad's, but they know every word of every verse of every song. I don't know where they learned it, but but they do. And that's another thing. Karaoke, I think, has changed the world, because I don't know if you come to concerts here all the time, but if this place is like every place else, you're going to hear singing like you've never heard. It's like, holy cow! It's you know, when you talk about how can you physically do 11 shows, and how does your voice held up for 11 shows? I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what the show's going to be like tonight. Okay? Sometimes late. It goes, and when they're done, we're two of a kind. And they just think it's like they kind of want. I don't even know if they want us there. I mean, they're just having such a great time, and whether we're there or not, it's fantastic. And this is the first tour we've ever toured together as an act. She's opened for us before, but this show is ours. So somewhere in the middle of it, everything will change. Here comes Trisha, and I get to go back and be an acoustic guitar player the whole thing. Now I get to see what I never see before. There's no lights in my face or anything. I'm sitting watching, and people sing her stuff. There was a guy in Chicago and a guy in Jacksonville. Not the same guy, but virtually the same. Just biker type dude, ripped up sleeves, big ass arms. Got this headband down out there, and he's about 13 rows in the middle. Same way in Jacksonville. I'm working this guy all night, and he's just all the time. I get back there, she comes out, and he's out there going, "She's in love with me." But it's the craziest thing. So it's cool to get to see that happen.
You're not really taking any time off in between the 2 weekends that you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about your schedule next week with the album launch?
We both hugged each other this morning and said, "I'll see you November 23rd." We'll both be going all over the place. We're going to leave here tonight, go and see Robert Roberts in the morning. The Morning America, where we'll debut the song on the out record for me, this new record coming out. If you could, this is one of those songs that should have been written 50 years ago. It's a conversation between God and an unborn child getting ready to come down to earth. And the song, the song is called Mom. And when God tells this little baby what a mom is, kill you. I tried every way in the world to redo I didn't write it. So I tried every way in the world to redo the rhyming scheme where the song was called Dad. Just because I'm partial to dads. But yeah, it's a beautiful song. So we'll do that. Come back tomorrow. We have a press conference at the Zone in St. Paul tomorrow, I believe, and would love to invite you guys to that. The Zones are the coolest thing. Greatest thing I've ever got to do is be Mr. Yearwood and be a dad to my children. Second coolest thing I've ever got to do is these teammates, Zones, and these camps for these kids. Far more important than ever getting to play music or anything like that. So tomorrow we open a new zone here in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and just excited about that. So encourage you to please come do that. We'll then come here and do 2 shows. Then I think we have a sports camp. We have a board meeting. The whole teammates board is meeting Saturday. Then we have 2 shows Saturday night. Then we have a sports camp Sunday for the kids. I think it's hockey, and if it is, that means Sean Podine, which one of the greatest human beings that ever walked the face of this planet. Sweet, sweet man, cares about kids so much. And then we'll do the Sunday night show. And then all hell breaks loose on 11/11. We'll be flying over. We'll enter the world of social media on 11/11, which I'm starting to study up. I want to get. It's a very powerful medium.
It's a very big deal for him.
It is. It's a very powerful medium. It needs to be treated and not like it's a normal everyday thing. You got a lot of power in this thing to do a lot of good or to do a lot of harm, and it needs to be handled with care. So they've been kind of instructing me on that. And Miss Yearwood takes off after that. We don't see each other except coming back here. She'll be on a plane, I'll be on a plane. We'll meet back here to do the shows. Go apart again, meet back in Greensboro to do it, which the American Music Awards are coming out to Greensboro. And then I think I'm in LA and New York right before Thanksgiving, and then we get to finally meet at Thanksgiving, and then December is exactly that way. There are people in this industry that'll tell you that only artists do the music. They don't promote it. They're the real artists don't do that. I'm going to say bullshit to that, because if you take the time to record the songs and love the songs, and you owe it to those songs and those songwriters to let as many people know that it's out there. not to shove it down their throat, but let them know that it's available, because there's some great messages on here. When you pick How You Ever Gonna Know, do what you gotta do. Those are songs that weren't singles. But those are songs that get me up in the morning and decide, you know what? I got the shit kicked out of me yesterday, but I'm gonna get back in that ring today and get going. Same way, I don't know if there's a greater song out there than Prize Fighter right now. Simply because that's what it's saying. Hey man, they're gonna beat you down, but look at you smiling with a shine. You get up, you fight again. That's what we do. And so I love those kind of songs. So much that I gave that song to my best friend. that was tough, yes.
That's for therapy, not for here.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
What exactly are you going to do on Tuesday, the day the album drops, besides do social media? Are you going to be doing TV appearances?
No, I think we're just going to do social media appearances. It's a world in which the things that I love, I see in there. We did a thing in the 90s, something more for me than the people. Stopped in at, we used to have a thing called Fanfare. Stopped at the Fanfare unannounced, got out of my truck, started talking, seeing people. 23 hours straight doing that, signing, hugging, taking pictures. I think that day's coming for Twitter and social media. I think I could spend a lot of time in my pajamas doing that. That's fun. So we're going to take a look at doing that. We're going to reliving that day. Because, guys, if your questions are all about Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, I can talk about that all day, especially hers. Happy to do that. Yes, sir.
You haven't performed here in 16 years, but have you been back to Minnesota at all during that time span? On the recreational side, hunting, fishing, anything like that?
We came back up here to raise money for the zone.
Starkey.
Yeah,
Starkey.
we came up for Starkey. Starkey's a great, great organization. Gotta love them. They're here. We came up for the fundraiser that night, and everybody was very sweet. That was the last time we were here that I know of.
2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. To raise money for the zone. Did it all in one night. You people are very sweet, and they came up and they brought the right people, and everybody wrote the checks. It was great. Anyone else? Well, again, I apologize for being late. It's just not like us to do that.
I want to say thank you to whoever made us feel so welcome the minute we walked in the door. This place is like turned into Garth and Trisha Central backstage. I've never seen anything like it. So whoever is in charge of that, I'd like to say a big thank you to.
Yeah, all the G's.
Really cool. Really just cool.
Very cool around here. And I have a picture that I worship of my mom and dad standing in front of one of these pillars when you had a star up for the 9 shows that we did here last time. And, again, you guys treated her so well. I can't thank you enough. Same way with her sister Betsy. You guys treated her very well. She was here with Mom last time. We have managed to lose Betsy, Mom, and Dad in between here and there, and Jerome, Jerry, brothers well. So started out as 8 of us. There are 4 of us left. And but you guys were very, very sweet to all. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Jeff.